Welcome to today's episode of the Digital Fireside. My name is Alex Hall, and I'm joined today with special guest and co-host Luke Curtin.
How you doing, Alex?
I am pretty good, man. How have you been?
I've been on my toes.
Why you been on your toes, Luke?
Well, you know why. That
Could
sneaky,
have something to do with-
sneaky little virus that's going around.
It's the little virus that could.
Little guy, really? Though,
We underestimated it, but you know what? It found a way.
It found a way. You know what's funny about you saying you underestimated it? Did you hear recent comments from our, leader, our executive, our chief?
Oh, no. Enlighten me.
It was on the Daily Show, so it was being made fun of. So
Okay.
put that in context. So it wasn't exact. He cut out the parts that made it sound stupid, obviously.
Right.
But he was pretty much saying like, it's people because scientists have come out like there's 3.1% chance of killing you and like the rate or whatever. I have a big hunch that it's not that. It's actually it's a lie. It's actually under 1%. And then everyone's like, what? As if like someone's gonna get mad at him for like having a stance on Corona.
Yeah.
People are gonna be more mad at him about saying like dismissing it and acting like it's not a thing.
I think he just...
No one's blaming him for it. Like he didn't create it. Like,
Clearly, this is somehow Trump's fault.
I think he's thinking people are gonna blame him if he has an opinion on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think at this point he's just like, well, I'm clearly going to win re-election, so I'm just going to start just throwing out everything. Yeah, the Chinese did corona. Actually, well,
I mean, they might have.
They legit might have.
He's been screaming bloody murder against the Chinese.
It turns out there was a research facility in Wuhan right across from the meat or a wet market or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah,
like you buy live chickens and stuff like.
Right, but there was also like a research facility that was, according to this report from a Chinese, I believe it was university, that they were saying that there was some issue or there was some question of if the virus potentially could have originated from there. And I'm like, well,
it's like a
gee whiz, guys,
like a lab breakout. Like you've seen the movie or Life? Like it's like this like life form in the spaceship and like just kills everyone on the ship with Ryan Reynolds in it and stuff.
Alien?
Yeah, like comes alive. They're acting like as if what you just said made it seem like it's some type of thing that escaped and like they're looking for it and now it's out in the world.
Dude,
somewhere.
I don't know. I don't think that it came from the wet market, but I think that there's some kind of weird someone shouldn't have been splicing jeans or something like that. And it's like, oh shit. Can you imagine that? Like that's like the worst day ever as an employee. And you're like, oh, you forgot to do a performance review. Like, at the same time, I accidentally unleashed a global pandemic. It's like, oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
Yeah, and everyone's like acting like. Actually, what's fascinating to me is how fast it spreads to other places.
That is
to
wild.
other places.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I know we just said like 2 minutes ago off camera was Italy.
Yeah,
like
Italy
30
is
minutes
now,
ago just
like, is it? I think it's like a full-on quarantine.
The whole country shutting down.
Like 16 million people, which is crazy.
An entire country. That might be a second. I mean, I'm sure China wasn't really shut down, though, and they're originators.
See,
I think they have too much work to be done.
Well, they keep on doing it, they're going to be screwed. But, like, that's the thing is that China, and I am not defending China because not a big fan of the Chinese government, period. But in a global pandemic, they have a better response than you compare to somewhere like Italy, where China just clamped down on everything. Like they have like your locked doors and you cannot leave, and they're throwing dogs off balconies and shit like that.
Right. It's not like up to like your job or it's,
right.
It's everyone. We're all doing this, guys.
Yeah, and it's like you're doing this or you get shot. So you compare Italy where like they kind of got caught with their pants down, and now they're like freaking out, and they're like, oh Jesus, which is like, I think Trump has really dropped the ball when it comes to handling this sort of thing. I think that he could have done a much better job. His administration,
well, he's
or
never
rather,
had to do anything.
Pence,
he's never had to do anything. There was never anything that really happened to where like he had to make some big calls.
Yeah, this is his first big crisis. I mean, you could debate that the Iran stuff was like more military, dick waving contest or whatever, but this is like the actual big, like, oh my God, kind of crisis.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah,
we're looking to you.
Yeah,
which is why we hired you.
I just got back from the gym, which by the way I broke 300 today. I hit 300.
Guys, give him a props comment.
Yes.
Congratulate Alex on getting 300 on the bench.
Finally.
It's big time.
Big time. But I was going there, and I just was observing, because now that, like, we're kind of more cognizant of, like, okay, you need to wash your hands more. There's, like, some stuff going around. I'm just watching people watching, basically in between sets. There's just, like, old man just, like, going, and then just opening the door.
You just see the green, like, germs flying in there.
And I'm just like, dude, this place is not going to last. Like, this place is going to get quarantined. It'll be on the chopping block, one of the first things.
Just in general, everyone knows if you're sick or you feel a little bit sick, you don't go to the gym, not because of you, but because of literally everything you touch is going to be dirty, no matter how much they wipe it.
Yeah.
So you're only going to get more sick, really.
Yeah.
And work out your body like that, raising its temperatures, doing all that stuff. It's okay if you're in bed and trying to sweat it out, but not when you're fucking working out extremely hard, I'm assuming. But
these guys,
I don't know.
They're just there to.
But now that the corona has affected my life,
oh yeah,
actually, no one's been affected. I don't know anyone yet, but there are people around work that have shown flu-like symptoms, and they have shut down. I have to work from home this whole week.
No kidding.
And my cousin, who is in New Jersey,
crazy.
actually, he works for Johnson & Johnson.
Uh-huh.
And they shut down. He has to work. He's a chemical engineer too.
Yeah.
How am I working from home, John? Go over these blueprints again? Like,
yeah, I mean, great. Start a podcast from home. That's it. That's a solution.
He's gonna be one of those voices. Those voices. What do you call those guys? In all those games with there's always a dictator. It's a P. It's a P word. I can't believe I'm spacing on this.
There's always
propagandist.
Yeah. Got the sound like.
He's gonna be yelling out his window.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. I think that if you were listening and you went ahead and got a little bit of extra stuff last time you were at the grocery store, good for you. If not, there's probably still time.
Are you a bulker?
A bulker? Or
you believe in, this is going to be the time that we need to start getting extra tubs of rice and
See, the thing for me is that I think if it was just isolated, and I said this last episode, but I think if it was just isolated to China, I'd be like, okay, whatever.
Fuck 'em.
But yeah, if you're having like places like Italy and Western European countries that are like saying, oh shit, guys, and we have a president and administration that has done a lackluster job, and which I think most of the entire world has done a pretty lackluster job at like combating this stuff.
But in their defense, it kind of sucker punched the shit out of everyone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I think it's like I'm trying to think of what you can compare it to, because Ebola wasn't nearly this contagious.
I guess the closest would be SARS,
maybe,
but that was only in.
But SARS wasn't as
only
contagious as this. Yeah,
that was only in the East.
Which is it's interesting. So like my perspective is that I'm not worried about. Yeah, actually, swine flu did infect a lot of people.
My coworker actually did get infected by swine flu. She had pigs.
I thought because in swine flu was like 2009, and the girl. This is like into the mindset of stupid, horny 19-year-old Alex.
Oh, okay.
But it's like
take me there.
My girlfriend got slow. I'll go slow. But this girl that I was seeing in college, I had like this huge crush on her. We were kind of dating, and as a precaution, they literally anytime you would go and like say you were sick during that like September to November period, they would immediately put you in quarantine. Like if you just made any kind of like flu symptoms. Yeah, this was in St. Louis. And I, being of totally health, like sound mind and body, I went after she got put in quarantine because she had like some kind of like mild cold or whatever.
Don't tell me.
And I was like, yeah, I'm thinking I'm like totally gonna be infected with swine flu now. And so I voluntarily quarantined myself.
What the hell?
To hang out with her, which is super dangerous, by the way. But
you didn't even have it the whole time, did you?
No, I never got sick. I just was like, I got the sniffles a little bit.
Just hanging out,
just chilling,
quarantine.
Yeah, I got my classes.
Tell us what that's like. I was actually thinking about that the other day. Like, what are you individually in there with other sickos, or are you all together? Like, all right, like cats. I've never heard of cats.
So here's what it was like. It was like you were basically because we were in this. I want to say old frat, like house. Essentially, and because it had a ton of rooms, and there was like a kitchen area, which a bunch of like snacks and stuff that were all sealed, and each person that was quarantined was assigned to a different room. But they never really checked. So like as soon as I was assigned to my room, I just texted the girl I was seeing, and I just went over to her room and spent the next like 5 days over at her place.
See.
And it was just really like boring. There's just nothing to do.
You're just in a room with obviously nothing there, but maybe air conditioning.
And this is kind of before like smartphones became like super ubiquitous. This was 2009.
All you had was paper toss at that time.
Well,
if you had an iPhone.
We brought laptops, so
there you go.
It really was like wasn't so bad.
And the internet wasn't that great. Wi-Fi was just taking off.
What?
Yeah. Like real Wi-Fi. Like,
oh my God. It wasn't that long. It was like a decade ago.
Yes,
no, it wasn't just taking off.
Dude, we had broadband for the longest time. Wi-Fi was a real treasure when it started hitting like every device that you could own.
But like like a network?
It started with LTE, obviously. That's not Wi-Fi. That doesn't count on your phone. I'm talking about Wi-Fi. Like go into Starbucks, get your Wi-Fi.
Yes, dude. I'm telling you, it was like pretty much the same as it is today. Speeds are a little bit faster today.
Yeah, now I know you're losing it. You're like
Biden.
Man. Dementia. Early sound on dementia.
Oh, we'll get into that later. Oh, for sure get into that later.
Forgetting what the hell you're standing for.
Did you see the clip of him saying, we want to re-elect Donald Trump or something like that?
No, but I did hear him say before Super Tuesday, because he was like a Sunday, he was like meeting with some like small church people. Of course there's cameras. He's like, we need you to get out there tomorrow and Tuesday. How do you forget?
Holy shit.
The most important day of the year to the point.
This guy, okay.
He's the leader. He's up by 100.
That is probably the most telling state of the Democratic Party, that this fucking guy, it is the battle between a like 77-year-old who just had a heart attack like not even a year ago, and this guy who like literally anytime he talks for more than 2 minutes on the debate stage, I get secondhand embarrassment. I'm like, dude, just please put him.
He's the oldest.
Way or something, man.
The thing about them, which is interesting to me, is that it's no one's first choices.
I think there's people that
even
would Bernie.
people with Trump. Not even people. Trump was people's first choices. No, all three of these people were just kind of like. Trevor Noah said it best. He said, "This is like the only job in the world where these three are the finalists for a job." Like, he's like, you can't even go to like get those Life Alert commercials. Like, no, we're looking for someone who's not about to die. We need someone who's a little younger who we could save.
Yeah, man, like that. Shit. Okay, let's put a pin in that because I want to finish the coronavirus stuff and then we can move on. Because this is why I wanted to come here because I want to talk about this insane shit. But
coronavirus.
Anyway,
did you listen to that song? You probably never listened to that song.
What song?
Guys, type in coronavirus song. And it'll be probably the first one. It's a little animated song. It's like 3 minutes long. It actually bumped. It's like a EDM.
I didn't. You didn't.
It's like
I didn't listen.
EDM to but it's like also the lyrics are like in another language. It's not English. I don't know what it was, but it actually like slams. That's why I sent to like 10 different people. I was like, they gotta hear this. but hopefully you can hear that.
I will listen to it on the way home if I remember to do it. But God, where was I? So yeah, voluntarily quarantined myself to get laid. Basically, what I didn't have swine flu. No, it did.
Okay, so we were successful.
We had like 5 days
Mission
alone
successful.
together as 19-year-olds in our first semester of college.
But we didn't know if was that your girlfriend or was that someone you were seeing for a little bit. We don't know if she was ready to pull a trigger at that moment. In a slimy, greasy quarantine bed.
I gambled. No, they were like regular hotel beds.
And like those were like a for sure bet.
I know. I'm a risk taker, man. I was like, this will totally close the deal.
I mean, it's me or just sitting here. Which one do you want?
It's like I just proved I was willing to get sick and die for you because we didn't know it was like a big nothing.
Did she end up getting it?
No. None of us. I don't think anyone in St. Louis had it. I don't think anyone.
They just missed the whole. Like, everyone else has just running amok like fucking zombies. It's like, oh, sorry, you got the wrong crowd. Just the most incompetent quarantine people.
It was really like they didn't even check on us too. Like they could have we could have started like some sort of weird like Children of the Corn shit in this fucking dorm room place. They'd have no idea. They come back, there's like flags on each of the doors.
Oh yeah. Fucking you would be surprised if you had whatever the Kool-Aid ceremonies going on down there.
Oh shit.
Big old blood on the ground, the rituals.
But
it's all right.
Anyway, what I'm not worried about getting sick with the coronavirus because,
It's for the weak.
well, the people that it is killing are like above 70 and have respiratory issues and like that kind of stuff.
Go ahead, say it. The weak.
I'm not saying the weak because
weak.
that's messed up. Like if you make it to 70, you're clearly doing something right. But
Are you? Are you though?
let's get real philosophical here.
No, but
Are you?
I feel like this is more like just physical. It's like, are you doing
Okay,
bad
to
things?
be fair, with health advances the way they are, any idiot can live to 70 for the most part.
As long as your genetics are normal
Yes.
or above.
Yes.
Obviously, if you have a history of like some bad string of luck,
Yeah.
hats off to you. Or
God.
immune problems.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you're not weak. I'm sorry. It's
Well,
rude.
it's a good
It's not a way to
uplifting
put. It's not a way to put it.
message.
But it is what it is.
Okay, so
you are still. It's like if. It's not like okay. Here's a good example. It's not like in comparison to where like let's say you're a very educated person and you go to, let's say you go to Harvard, right?
Right.
Now like and you're like super smart, and now all of a sudden you go to a big fish school, you're not so smart anymore in comparison to everyone else.
Yes.
It's not one of those type of situations.
Right.
This is straight up. It's there's a baseline, so there's a threshold of baseline, and then if you don't make it, you are considered weak.
Okay.
It is
Yes.
not-
I guess by that metric, yes.
It
you're
is
right.
not like
Jesus.
it's not rocket science, Alex.
Thank you for breaking it down. I
People
appreciate
have
it.
lived off of natural selection for millennia.
Oh my gosh.
The strong will survive.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Corona will not touch.
So
the
you know what?
Puritans.
I guess what Luke is saying is if you die from the coronavirus, you deserved
You're a
it.
bitch.
You're-
You're a bitch. Try harder.
I hope that this all blows over in a year. We don't look back on this like really like, oh fuck, man, I can't believe we said that shit. Like, there's so many people dead.
Hey, I'm gonna have someone, a loved one, be like, hey, you're still a bitch.
You're still a bitch. But...
You're a bitch, but say hi to Jesus.
Well, God willing, it doesn't mutate.
I know, yeah, God willing.
But the thing is, I'm not worried about the actual virus getting sick. I am more worried about any kind of crazy people that try and do. If there is a quarantine, which I honestly can't say for sure at this point. Obviously, they're having people stay home. I think it'll be more of a self-imposed quarantine. But I went out and I've got enough food and water. And it's not glamorous shit. It's just like, here's the thing. You like beans? Here's a thing of beans. It'll last you a few days. But like, me and my girlfriend have enough to get through probably a month if we absolutely had to. And the best part is, like, if we don't ever need it, that's an extra meal, like
That's
during
true.
the summer.
And you can get some great deals down at like the soup kitchen. You just
Yeah.
go in there and start just taking all the canned food.
push the home. I need this, actually. I'm preparing. You're just eating in the moment. I
You
need
just
this
eat
for
the
long
moment.
term. Like survival of the
I need
fittest,
this
like
for
the
my
weakness,
bunker.
right? Yeah.
I'm selling a car for this shit.
Yeah. So
Well, I mean, I'm happy that you fear no virus. That you feel like you're ready to go toe to toe.
I never said that. I
You're
just
just
said
ready to trade blows.
if, considering we are getting caught, we're in the process of getting caught with our pants down. Not like Italy. Italy's already gone, but like we're in the
Corona
process.
walked in the room. It's like, oh no, good on, no, continue. Don't mind me.
Like we're kind of in the middle of like we hear footsteps. We're kind of pulling them up. Ah!
No, we're good.
Well, I don't know if we're good or not because I think we'll see.
There's
the
a
next few
couple of
weeks.
them because
Yeah.
we're Midwest and there's a couple neighboring and us.
Yeah.
They've gotten at least well, Chicago's tough, but without Chicago, it's like probably like 40 cases.
Yeah.
Chicago has
It'll
more,
get-
obviously.
My gut instinct is telling me that it's going to get pretty crazy. I don't think it is worth panicking about. I think I
Oh,
am
no,
more.
yeah, it is.
I am worried about people panicking because people are morons and will panic over nothing. Like you see the story about how there's toilet paper that is like sold out everywhere,
No,
like in Costco. This is the stupidest shit, especially in like Seattle.
do they think you get the runs with Corona?
I don't know. Like that's the thing is like people panicking at the last minute like this are fucking idiots. Like they are irrational and they.
So what's that
No.
story? What?
So basically, there's like this thing. Even my sister down in Atlanta is
Fucking
saying,
dumbass getting toilet paper.
well, no, she's saying that at Costco they are rationing out toilet paper. Like you
Oh
cannot.
no, there's some stores that are doing that stuff.
but specifically toilet paper.
Yeah,
like
no.
that is the weirdest thing. Like you can only buy 2 rolls of toilet paper or 2 things of toilet paper, or whatever.
Well, Costco and Sam's Club said, "Fuck that. We only have 12 packs."
Okay, so maybe it is the packs, but like they are rationing them out at Costco in Atlanta. And there was the thing in Seattle where like there was a news story like all the shelves being bare Like, people on the West Coast are getting hit really fucking hard with it.
I wouldn't want to be in any big population area for sure. Obviously.
Oh, yeah. No, the Midwest wins.
I'm glad that we're...
Yeah, we're kind of insulated a little bit from it.
We can control it pretty easily.
Yeah, and plus there's so much, like, empty land here and all that kind of stuff that,
you know. Keep your distance. You can grow your own crops.
Distance. Yes. So, it'll be interesting to see. I think, worst case scenario...
we all die.
Okay, so like worst case scenario that doesn't involve everyone dying, I would say is like you were stuck for a boring week or two kind of in your home, and then the internet gets really good for like 2 weeks because everyone has nothing to do but like shit post.
That's what I was saying.
It's going to be great.
I texted how early I got here. Like driving was so fast.
Yeah.
Somewhere it usually takes me about an hour 10 to get here just because of, that. The distance is like 25, 30 minutes. Like today, I just flew right on through.
You did.
It's like, that's why I don't buy, the Zombieland and all that stuff. Like, if there's no one around, it shouldn't take you like 5 days to get to another state, man. Like, I'm calling BS on those road trip movies because it takes me with no one on the road, just flies me down the, actually not down, but up a city.
I was never like super like I always would say, I'm going to come down there or come up there, regardless of the geographical actual location of it.
Yeah, I'll say down. If I'm going, I'll say down.
Yeah, it's like I'm going there. Like that's the thing you need to kind of glean from that sentence. It's not that I'm going geographically down or up. Get off my ass. Sorry, pet peeve.
I'll say about Chicago all the time. Like, yeah, I'm coming down up. No, fuck. Coming up.
Okay, so
grammar Nazi.
Anyway, let's see. Corona's doing well.
Yeah.
You're happy for her. All that kind of good stuff.
She might be getting married soon.
Turns out, Corona and Ebola, match made in hell. It's going to mutate and totally kill everyone.
They met on The Bachelor. And we're following their story 6 months later.
Let's see. I'm trying to think what else besides the DNC, because I want to jump into that. But I've played. Oh, so Seven Deadly Sins came out.
The game.
What do you think of it?
You
liked it, but
can't give you a full-fledged review.
Okay.
I've missed some days, but I have played at least 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I don't like the storytelling. It's not as accurate and or exciting as either the manga or the first parts of the TV show, the anime. Sorry. But I appreciate its desire to be different and like give you a full-fledged 3D type experience.
Yeah.
All in graphic, not just like those. Normally with these games, they'll have like a picture of the character pop out and then a text log on the bottom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, and then they switch it to another guy. That's usually what they do. Hats off to these guys for doing. They're actually making a Marvel one too. These same guys, Netmarble, yeah.
You hear like the little woman say, Netmarble.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Cute Japanese voice.
They just dropped the trailer like last week for the Marvel Universe one, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Because what they're doing I like what they're doing. The gameplay is like any other, like it's pretty similar to like Galaxy of Heroes or even what's it called? Not Ultimate Ninja Blazing, but which is the best game on I'll find a way to talk about it if I can. Whatever. It's the best game on mobile for sure.
You getting paid by them?
This podcast is brought to you by Shadow Raid Legends.
Naruto Shadow Legends.
But no, yeah, the game's cool. I don't like how you have to do everything. You have to like the tutorial was long as shit. Like it was so long. Why was it that long?
I think it's to prevent people from
have played
re-rolling.
games before, and people who are buying an anime game for sure have played games before.
Yeah.
So you don't. You don't
sense
need to drag that out for so long. That was a big pet peeve. I'm like, dude, I just want to like save or like whatever. I just want to get through this. Nope. We gotta watch it 1,000 times. Plus, they kind of spoiled a lot. Where if you were to watch like someone like you who haven't seen it. If you were to watch the show now, you'd be like, oh, well, that's going to happen and that's going to happen. But, I mean, yes, you chose to play the game.
Yeah.
But you didn't know that they were going to just, like, blatantly show you who's going to be who and who's going to be that. Because there's, like, because you already played it, I'm not going to show it. Because there's, like, in the first tutorial match, it's, like, the 7 Deadly Sins in the castle. And it shows them in the armor. Like,
Yeah.
oh, well, that's fucking. Who's the only short dude in the whole?
Yeah.
It's obviously Meliodas, and then like you have next to that's obviously Merlin next to it, and it's just. I don't know. They kind of screwed the pooch with that, but maybe they just didn't care. Maybe they thought like, oh, we're big enough already that people know who we are. I don't know. Well, if people already knew who you were, why don't you fucking cut down the tutorial? Can't have both ways.
Easy,
Marble.
buddy. Easy. Jesus.
Can't have it both ways. But overall, gameplay is tight. It's good. I recommend it, especially if you don't have anything else going on right now. It's way better than all the other, except for Naruto. Way better than all the other. It's better than Dragon Ball Legends for sure. That's trash.
For fuck's sake. Yeah.
Is it better than Dokkan? I never got into Dokkan.
Yes.
Never got into it. I didn't like it.
It is incredible. Like
that's my thing too. The gameplay, like the actual combat, like I'll show the combos. It's not just like one big.
Yeah,
that's
like
why I
it's
like
like
Naruto.
a PS3 game.
It's like that. Yeah.
Like it's got the graphical fidelity of like literally a last generation game, and I was just really surprised because I would play.
It's like a Ni no Kuni type.
Yeah.
Or like a Tales of Vesperia type.
I would play like Dokkan Battle, the Dragon Ball game or whatever, and that's a shitty like pixelated sprite-based thing.
Yeah.
That's like, here's like 5 frames of Goku doing a Kamehameha. That's what it was for the longest time. Then they finally got better animations, but like, it was like night and day going from that kind of stuff to like this game, and like I don't know if I can go back. Like it's really, really good. And I didn't really know the story behind Seven Deadly Sins, but it's got me interested enough that I'm starting to I'm doing my little like Alex approach to the anime where I dip my toes in the water by watching big fights of it on YouTube. And I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I will go watch.
So
the
you've
anime
seen the
now.
spear throw? That's usually what everyone gets pulled into.
I've seen a lot of stuff with Escanor.
That's in the anime or the manga?
The anime.
Sorry, they did him dirty in the anime. But
Yeah, I heard there's.
I need to send you something. If you're looking for fights, I'm gonna send you Meliodas versus Escanor.
Okay.
What's his fucking name? God damn it. Oh.
Goku.
No, the guy who makes it. Fuck, I have it on my phone. I saved it because he gets taken down every other day because he puts music to it and like gets copyrighted and stuff like that. And it's like a moving comic, with music added to it, and it's fucking pretty sick.
Yeah, I heard there's a lot of
I sent it to
anime
you.
or animation controversy.
Yeah.
On the third.
Oh
season
no,
of
there's it got like first season, which was on Netflix.
Yeah.
Absolutely like incredible anime. Second season, it has what you want. It's still pretty good, but you can see that the quality is not there.
Right.
Same studio though, for some reason. I don't know. This one is a different studio, and it's just shit. And of course, it's all the really really cool stuff that's going on. So it's
That's
like,
too bad.
damn. And so the fan base just kind of left. They all left that, and now everyone's focused on My Hero.
Yeah. Well,
Which I'm surprised has gotten huge in the last year and a half.
it's really blown up.
In North America specifically.
I'm excited for Attack on Titan, the final season. That's this year, isn't
I've
it?
actually never seen I've seen one episode of that.
It's really
actually
good.
half an episode.
It's really, really good. It got me back into anime again, like in 2015. Not like I'm like watching a ton of it, right? So that sounds a little hypocritical. But like,
Oh, weeboo
I'm
over
like,
here.
okay, well, this shit has something to offer, 25-year-old Alex. Like, because I think anime got a lot of mileage out of the nostalgia I had for it. Like, oh, I remember watching Cowboy Bebop and, Death Note and Dragon Ball. So like, I kind
Yeah,
of.
but those are fucking goats, man. Those are
Those
Hall
are.
of Fame numbers right there.
Yeah.
That's the. But it's not like I mean, things like Gurren Lagann is really good, but it's not a Hall of Famer.
No,
You know.
it's good, but
Yeah,
it's not.
you're not getting that DVD. It's only 24 episodes. That's what I'm saying. So, but
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. I mean, there's definitely something. I've still been in it, but for a while watching them, like binge watching, I hadn't done. And funny enough, I was just talking, a lot of, you'll laugh at this, a lot of gibberish right before we got on. JoJo is actually, see.
How
actually
many
what got me-
episodes have we
got
had
me-
a JoJo reference?
It's got-
Every single fucking
It's got
one.
me pulled in, and what you say about the fights is what I did with that, and obviously the meme community just obliterates any other meme community out there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I want a part of the joke, and so like last year, 2019, I actually finally dove into. For someone, it's really weird though. For someone who who has been in anime for a long time, to have never even taken a chance on JoJo.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the name. I was kind of turned off by JoJo's. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be gay. And they're all like doing their poses and shit, which now I have such an appreciation for. It's like masculine posing. It's very, very.
You say so, man.
You gotta watch it. So you gotta watch it. You judge it. But that was me. And I started watching like the fights, like Dio and all that stuff. I was like, oh, okay, this is actually interesting. I'm gonna go watch it.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
So I've been playing a little bit of Seven Deadly Sins for the iPhone and Android. And this game, have you heard of a game called Nier Automata?
Yeah, you're Automata.
Automata, sorry.
I mean, you can say it either way, but I say Automata.
I bought it on sale. It was on sale for $20 on Xbox, and I bought it, played through a lot of it in the weekend, and jeez, man, that game is really good. Like, it's really, really good. It is like just the right. See, what I love about this, like, strictly Japanese shit. Well, Platinum did the gameplay for it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the story. Like, I was always interested in the original Nier, but didn't have the patience for it, so I would like watch YouTube summaries and that kind of stuff. But have you played Automata? Mm. It's so fucking good. It is like you mix like
it's like platforming with 3D.
Yeah, it's like a shoot 'em up mixed with like Devil May Cry or like Bayonetta or something like. Bayonetta is probably a better comparison.
Platinum.
But yeah, it's really interesting.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Mutants in Manhattan.
No.
Does it remind you of that game?
No, not at all.
But I bought that game. I still have it.
It's like this weird existential storytelling because it takes place like 10,000 years from today, and it's like in the far distant future. There's like humans are gone. There's machines and androids, and like there's so much like different stuff going on about existential crises of like what it means to be a human and like the benefits of like immortality versus the negatives. And it's like this really philosophically interesting, conversation. And I want to describe it in very plain terms because it could easily veer into like the very pretentious category where it's like, oh, it's just so deep, it's so complex. But
I was just thinking that in my head. You know what I was thinking?
What?
I was thinking about interrupting and saying just random words. Collagenonymist.
Yeah.
Philonoshicalothable.
It's just refreshing because like there is and I strictly kind of find this weird Japanese shit very interesting because they tend to go places that a lot of Western storytellers don't for whatever reason. But
they cover it with this little fluffy, not really.
Yeah, and I know
usually
I know what you're trying to
cover
say.
it with this,
And it's like there's like this window dressing that gets you in, but then once you're in, you're like, oh fuck.
Like your boy Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
He used. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter. I don't, but I saw it on like your friends have liked these things more. Mm-hmm. He's been tweeting about this anime, and he's been tweeting about like every day.
Okay.
And it's like this fluffy like thing on the outside. But like it's like apparently I read into it. I forget what it's called because I don't know it. But I was reading about it and it was like something that like starts off like the first 3 episodes like really like very surface level, just anime shit, and then all of a sudden it's like it gets dark like, but with the same covering of these little people.
That's interesting.
And he's been tweeting about nonstop. So like, and he's a storyteller like of that caliber that you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
And so if he's finding that type of shit interesting, I can only imagine what it actually is. Because I think the deepest story, not deepest story, but the most interesting psychological ride that I've been on was Death Note, and that is a standard. So
yeah,
this I'm excited to try it out, but to see what you're saying is like, I don't know for a video game to cross that realm.
It is.
You have a limited amount of hours, and the gameplay has to match what you're doing, and the tenaciousness of this character to be.
Yeah.
Fighting and stuff like it has to match. I guess isn't she kind of quiet the same way?
She is a very no nonsense
or contrast, or it's like you gotta find that. Yeah,
well, because it's kind of, and again, here's the wildest shit. Because I beat the game last night.
Ooh, congrats!
But here's the thing: the game has 26 different endings.
Oh, I love those.
But like
stories path
to be fair, 20 of them are like joke endings that are just like, hey, you fail, or you go off and explore this, and it's like a joke ending. It doesn't really matter. But there's actually like 5. I think there's 5 actual endings. So immediately after beating the game, you start it over from a separate character's perspective, and he is more of like an empath. So you can kind of get, because a lot of it is just not explained at all. Like there's a lot of shit in the game on your first playthrough.
It's like forcing you to play again.
Like there's a fucking, and I'm not going to go into spoilers, but like
it's been out for like 4 years. Dude.
Right. But like there's a moment where this character shows up and murders in cold blood this like important character who's a child, basically. You're led to believe like this character's important, yada yada. Just shows up, murders the character, and then you fight this character. After the boss fight, she jumps away, You never see her again for the rest of the whole fucking playthrough.
That's real life, though. That's real life. Why do I need to explain anything to you? I have
just
my
killed
own.
this kid.
No, I have my own mission of. Okay, I did what I did, and now you're trying to stop me from getting away.
It's just so weird. It's just like later. She just takes off like, well, and like they make it seem like we're gonna follow up with her. Be careful. Never see her again. Never see her
She
again.
made her escape. She won. That's what happens. You got away.
So apparently I'm waiting to play as the second character. Hopefully there is some, because he goes off and he does his own thing and you kind of lose track of him like halfway through the game in the first playthrough. And so I'm interested to see what happens if that kind of fills in some of the blanks, because it sounds like by the time he re-shows up, he's made some character development. It's just interesting. I like that different kind of storytelling shit. So I'll keep you posted on how that goes. But I think so far it's left a really cool impression. Like really cool. And it's like that weird Japanese existential shit that I love.
Was it one of those free games for gold?
No, this was on sale.
You actually picked it up?
Yeah. I think this came out maybe 2 years ago on Xbox. It was about a year late. But
Typical Xbox.
and Yakuza, I've been playing that a little bit too. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, I saw that snap you sent, like when you first busted it out.
It was like singing
fuck's going on?
karaoke.
Yeah.
That's so
It better be like a side mission. Or was that
Yeah, well,
legit,
no,
like,
you're required to do that for the first
Oh,
playthrough.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I like it though. It's got a banging ass soundtrack too. I sent you that.
You're big
combat
on you're
theme.
big on the extra stuff.
Yes.
You're the dude that will buy the DVD for the extras.
Yes. Like if
How
a
is it
game has a
made?
good soundtrack, I
Yeah,
am like
soundtrack.
100% on board. I love good game soundtracks, man.
I don't know. The best game soundtrack, would you say, is more upbeat or just like, wow, this is like really fits the game? Because like God of War has a really good soundtrack, but I would never like just vibe to some God of War.
See, that's kind of
But
the
it
thing.
fits the game perfectly, you know?
It's hard for me to say that because like for the same reason why I never like thought like movie soundtrack stood out to me too, because it's like you have one good song that's really iconic and great, but I'm not going to go out and buy the whole soundtrack.
And it comes out like 8 weeks before the movie.
Yeah.
So it's
I
not
don't
that
know.
impactful anymore when you see the movie.
I think for me personally, it would probably be Metal Gear Rising has to have the best soundtrack because that is like some butt rock shit that would come on like, X103 or some kind of like rock station. That is still good because they're all like boss like theme songs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all Linkin Parkish. It's just like,
I feel like Kirby's got a really good soundtrack.
Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
It's fucking iconic.
Oh my God. See, I think that's what people think of when they think of video game music and like, this is some dumb chiptune-y shit.
It's like 8-bit sounds.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Let them have those opinions.
Oh, speaking of Nier Automata, Automata, whatever.
I think I say it wrong actually because there's a mata. Automata is like M-A-T-A, but I say automata.
Yeah. But like speaking of music with that stuff, they have lyrics on some of their songs, but the creator, like he is like a Hideo Kojima light. Like, cause he will, for these songs, I was like trying to listen to the lyrics, couldn't make out a single word of what they were saying. It's like, is this in French? Is this in Japanese? And apparently, because I looked it up, the creator ended up kind of hiring this composer to make up a language what he thought Japanese would sound like in like 10,000 years. And like that's what it is. They're singing in this made-up language that actually it's so cool. It's really.
I thought you were gonna say because there's this video out what United States sound ignorant. What English sounds to non-English speakers. What it sounds like.
Okay.
And it's a really like weird video if you speak English because you like get it's kind of cool. Like so like there's a couple of them, couple copycats, but the original one was really good.
Yeah.
And you just kind of hear snippets of things like room. You just hear like, and it's just like the most like cringy, like odd sounding language. I think, and because you know how like, languages sound to us, like French is like blah 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 blah. Like, they're obviously saying things, but like to us, it's like a whole bunch of vampires speaking. Blah blah blah. Like,
apologies to our French listeners.
apologize.
If we have any, but
Jean-Pierre Polnareff.
now if you start saying Russia, don't bring any downside on Russia, man.
Not during the presidentials. Not again.
Oh my God.
Not again. But I don't know. You should check out that video though. What English sounds like to non-English speakers.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
It's definitely cringy and weird.
You ready for this? I'm ready to move on.
I'm ready to hear what you have to say.
I'm ready to move on.
I told you this is when I start paying attention. The final two. I told you that a couple shows ago. So when I start paying attention.
Technically, it's final 3. Because my girl Tulsi
my
Gabbard
God.
is still in the
my
fucking
God.
race.
Yeah, with like 1 delegate.
Woo!
I mean, look at me how many delegates she has. How many votes?
She has 2, I think.
Okay, yeah, so you're not in the,
Hey, man,
race.
it's more than you or me.
Look at this. Democratic Party. She's got
2.
2. Hey, it's more than my boy Yang. He dropped out, though.
Yeah,
But,
well, I think it's still, I don't know.
Bernie's down by a little under 100.
I think they will tie up by, well, because tomorrow, because we're recording this on Monday the 9th, and I'm going to try and put this up on the afternoon tomorrow, but tomorrow night is when they have another.
Debate?
No, I don't think they have a debate till the 15th, but they have another like voting thing or whatever. It'll be interesting.
My guy Bill Weld is getting a delegate.
Got 1.
Got 1 against Trump. Snuck 1.
We're looking at Republican primary.
I just switched it over, and I was just seeing like and that's what I wanted to see.
Yeah, so
1 guy standing up.
I think that Tulsi Gabbard continues to get robbed at every conceivable opportunity.
Okay.
It's sad, but I've made my peace with it.
Robbed. How?
Because when she just had the debate rules changed for the 11th Democratic debate that have historically been, if you have delegates, you can attend the debate. They then modified the debate rules to omit her. After previously modifying the debate rules to let a billionaire come on.
Was it to omit her?
Yes.
Was it designed? Because when you say that, I want to make sure it's very clear that you said
I will be quoted
they
on
made this rule specifically during this election to exterminate everyone who is not Biden or Bernie.
Their rules basically, they're very complicated.
They're trying to marginalize.
They are 100% trying to marginalize her because it's the same thing with Yang. Literally the same thing with Yang. They excluded him out on a debate. He somehow got back in on the one after that. Then he drops out
because he had some people behind him,
and he actually called them out too. He called out the DNC. He says, whatever quality or whatever standards they have for the next debate, you can bet it's whatever Tulsi Gabbard has +1, because they are making every conceded effort. This started way back, like last year, with them. Essentially, Google was blocking a lot of search results from Tulsi Gabbard, which resulted in her putting out a lawsuit against Google. We talked about it on the podcast. It's when she kind of shot down Kamala Harris. I think that, and if you want to get into the conspiracy shit, that was what I think the Democrats wanted. They didn't want Biden. I don't think Biden was ever their first fucking choice. I think they wanted Kamala Harris.
None of these people were their first choice.
I think they wanted Kamala Harris to be the opposition against Trump. But Tulsi Gabbard literally destroyed her and then went after Hillary Clinton for some reason.
Because no one really knows what they want, which pisses me off because AOC just came out and said, "Okay, well, I don't know." But she said it's not about getting the election; it's about coming together and beating Trump. Well, no, it's about fixing our issues in the country, lady. So you're losing sight of what we're actually doing here.
I agree with that.
Because you're focused on that fucking idiot on the other side.
I think they're so desperate to beat Trump they will do anything, and I think when they're in that position, that is bad for the betterment of the whole country.
But they're not getting any type of real push and support because they're so focused on Trump. They're not focused on their own things. Like, what are their foreign policy? What's their foreign policy?
And that's the best thing to attack Trump on is his foreign policy, because out of everything
we
with
don't
him,
even know theirs. Because they're so focused on just saying, everyone's like, yeah, Trump should get out of here. Okay, well, what are you going to do when he's gone? Like, what the thing with Biden, I feel like nothing's going to happen with Biden. If he wins, nothing's going to happen.
Oh my God,
he's just going to be the president, and that was it. Good job. You didn't screw anything up. You didn't do anything. He's just a seat sitter. I think that's what he would be as a president. He'd just be someone who sits there. You'd be like a monarch over in Britain.
I am still trying to think of the angle for. Okay, because basically what happened after we recorded our episode is that right before Super Tuesday, the other front runners dropped out and put their support behind Biden.
For weird reasons.
It is very weird because if you look at what they were saying in the debates, they were like knocking the shit out of him. Yeah. And they're like, well, I'm going to support him for president. So it's like clearly, as there is with every single fucking election with this stuff, there is stuff going on behind the scenes at the DNC. I don't think that's even up for debate anymore if you actually pay attention to this kind of stuff. But I can't understand why it's Biden, for God's sake. I cannot. I think Buttigieg, for all his inexperience and all the stuff,
That's the only reason why.
And that is
only
maybe
reason
the
why.
bigger problem with America, I think, is that.
Well, he's been there before.
But like he's
was
losing
in the
his
meetings
fucking
with the
mind.
Barack.
He's like, he doesn't even know where he is half the time. It's like, well, he was with Obama. He's pretty good.
Yeah, well,
Like,
Obama's
what
supposed
the
to
fuck?
like just turned 50 or something. He was on top of it.
He's posing for like Maxim magazine. Like, what up, guys? I'm Obama. But like that's the
Let
thing
me be
is
clear. Joe Biden doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
that is what's so infuriating is the more I pay attention to this stuff, and it's more the sad reality of it, is that elections are kind of won and lost by the uninformed vote.
Yes.
Like if you appeal to the base common average voter, and think about it, the average voter is a fucking idiot. And by definition, half of those people are even stupider than that.
Yeah, so they'll vote for someone whoever's name's been rung the most.
Yes. Yeah.
Or they
I think
won't
that's
vote.
probably
Or they
why.
won't vote.
Right.
And that's its own issue.
Because
and they're not going to dig in. They're not going to.
Biden is just such
cram.
a all around. If they can like distance themselves from just winning the primary, think about Biden going up against Donald Trump in a debate.
Dude, it's going to be
He
fucking.
will get bulldozed over. He will get like fucking just.
It's going to be Tyson
thrashed.
Fury, fucking Deontay Wilder, just pop, pop.
Like
Just getting knocked around.
Hillary Clinton, for all her preparedness and her qualifications, she vastly outperforms Biden in every single metric. And even she was like trading blows and not completely winning each debates with Donald Trump because he plays so dirty.
Well, it also doesn't help when you are a dirty, candidate yourself.
Yeah.
She would be great if she didn't have such baggage, but then again, she's the devil lady.
Well, so here's what I am wondering.
Didn't help that they had, feature films about her fuck ups.
Yeah, what was it? The 6 days in Bag or whatever it is.
Benghazi.
Yeah, the 72
13
hours.
hours.
Yeah, yeah. Here's what I think is interesting. Who does Biden pick as a VP?
If he's smart, he'll either pick fucking what's his name, Buttigieg, or he's gonna pick someone that no one even fucking knows. But if he's smart, I'd pick Yang. He'd pick Yang. He'd get a lot of votes because Yang was making clear sense. And he every old delusional man needs someone there to be like, hey, wake up. Wake up. This is what they're talking about.
See, you want to hear something wild? I'm going to go Hail Mary with
Tulsi's
this.
not sniffing.
No. Oh, God. Okay. She will never. I don't know why she's
She wouldn't even
running
say
as a
yes.
Democrat at this point. She wouldn't say yes. She has too
Like,
much
fuck
integrity for that. But I'm going to say it's either going to be Warren.
Cory Booker.
Because I think Warren would be the most pragmatic choice because that kind of can maybe unify the massive split that is destroying the Democratic Party right now. But if you want me to get really pessimistic, I'm going to say, okay, this is probably never going to happen in a million years. But how wild would it be if he suddenly picked like Hillary Clinton to be his VP?
He'd win. I think he would win.
I'm worried about that. I don't know, but
I think he would win, but
do you
it
think
wouldn't
he
be
will?
like the way I said that made it seem like it would be a no-brainer. I think they would win, but it wouldn't be something. It wouldn't be landslide. It wouldn't be something. You would have to look at it the last day, like, come on, and then you really wouldn't be surprised if she won. You know what I'm saying? Or he won. Your running mate is a huge get. You cannot screw this up, unless you are someone like a Trump or an Obama who is just larger than life.
Yeah.
If you don't have that larger than life quality, you need to have someone behind you that has all the credentials, looks good next to you, like just looks the part, and has had some type of pull with the communities. I don't think. I mean, Hillary has that for Joe. Joe really, no one knows what the fuck he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
He would be.
He doesn't know what.
To be honest.
No one knows what he wants to do, except like get rid of the death penalty.
Wants to get after Corn Pop.
That's
man.
it.
He's got to fight Corn Pop.
So it's that's the thing though. Like everyone knows what Trump had his wall. Obama had there's change. Like she was gonna be first woman president. She had other things that she worried about. Sanders wants healthcare for all. And then everyone has their thing. What is Biden's? No one knows what the hell he wants.
It's Obama. It's like, remember Obama?
Yeah, Obama. I was in
Wasn't
the
he
room.
great?
I was in the room where it happens.
But I just don't understand how you can look, because I was talking with someone, because every now and then I've kind of dipped my toes into posting political stuff on Facebook. Just I don't use it for anything else, but like it's just like whatever.
Cousin Terry doesn't want to see that right now, Alex.
I just want to check
Roll
the
damn
temperature
tide.
of what people, like the average people, are saying, because I think it's one thing to argue about it on Reddit or internet forums where everyone's anonymous, but like it's interesting to see the people behind these, let's say, hot takes. I can't understand or imagine someone looking at Biden and saying, oh, that's just a speech impediment, or oh, that's just a stutter. His colossal dementia fucking brain is not a speech impediment or a stutter.
You gotta look at the same way.
Look back at 2012 Biden. Like, there's a video right now you can find on YouTube. It is night and day difference. Biden is not just getting words mixed up and wrong, but he's like forgetting where he is. He is completely just going off the script. You have to be willfully ignorant to think that Biden's insane amount of amnesia shit is just a stutter.
Look what the job does to presidents.
Oh, God.
This dude's not making it out.
You saw Obama when he went in versus when he went out.
Hey, how you doing? Brock.
It's like punished
dark black hair.
Yeah.
Nice copper skin. Comes back out. Bags everywhere. He's white as snow. His hair is just falling out. Yeah. Fuck this country.
It's like, I'm out. Fuck this.
Dude, Biden, that's one thing you gotta look at too. Like, they're not. I don't think any of our presidents are really gonna make it out. Like, either three of them, they're all in their 70s.
Yeah.
4 years of doing all. I don't know. Bernie might be able to do it because he's been yelling for 50 years now.
But he also had that heart attack, which is the big thing.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, I don't know, dude. The health is a big factor. I think there should be an age gap, just like there is an age limit or an age.
I think that's a fair point.
Like you have to be 34, and but the age part of it is that you have to be 34, at least. So I feel like there should be a ceiling to that floor. Yeah, you can't be 80 running.
Yeah, I think that's too old. Like, I just can't help but think that I think even if he picks Hillary Clinton as his VP or Warren as his VP, I think that I think we are watching the destruction of the Democratic Party. I think it's gonna stay the same name, like the brand will still be there, but it is undergoing some radical changes right now. If you pay attention to the waves that Bernie Sanders is making, that AOC is making, this progressive, not violent, but like aggressive movement within the party to take it over. I think that the establishment is on its way out. And I think that if Biden takes the primary, I think they will disenfranchise so many young people. And you know what? Those baby boomers are only going to be around so much longer to vote. Like, it's not...
Probably only 2 more elections.
It's not sustainable. And because I don't know where you go. I don't know if you do Bernie Sanders because I like some of his ideas. I think that he's gone crazy with the open border stuff. I think that, I don't like how his platform has changed since 2016 when I supported him. And I know that in order for him to win, there was some study done that you would have to have a record miracle youth turnout to offset all the people he alienates, and that will never happen because
it did in 2016 though. College campuses were feeling the damn burn.
His shot was in 2016. I agree with that, and I think that he probably should have gotten it. But
that's the thing too with us. With our country, I feel like especially younger people, once you see someone lose, it's almost like you automatically shut off like, oh, well, he can't win anyway. Why waste a vote on him?
Yeah.
So after you saw him lose, as a Bernie supporter, you're probably like, not you, but just in general you're probably like, damn, like there's no way he's taking out Trump.
Yeah.
Why even go to the booth?
Well, he's gone much more further left than he was in 2016, which I'm not a huge fan of. But
his big thing is the student loans. That's what I'm saying. If Trump even stutters about student loans, he's gonna win. He doesn't have to say much. Just if he gets a legit I will eliminate $10,000 from everyone's student debt or something like that. Nothing huge, but enough to where it's like, all right,
yeah,
cool. Bernie's like, everyone's debt, no matter how much you have, is going to be gone. And it's just not at that. And there was something else an article came out about him admitting that it would take, he would raise taxes to the middle class to make his programs happen. And that is not the good look because the Democratic Party has made a living off of supporting the middle class.
Yeah. Well,
So
I think
that more points to what you're saying.
Well, as weird as it is, hang on. Our video just died here.
Bitch ass iPhone.
We can't continue without the video. We need to have like a little technical, like.
It's like a Larry David Seinfeld skit. Well, we can't have the video. If you don't have the video, you got.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah.
Oh, this just in. Reggie Fils-Aimé joins GameStop's board of directors.
What?
GameStop's turning it around, baby.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah. Google News.
We need to have like a cut, like breaking news. We interrupt this scheduled
Reggie's
program.
back.
Reggie's back, baby.
Reginald, the Reginator.
So did he leave?
Yeah, he just like
Nintendo?
stepped down. He
Like a
didn't get
long
fired
time
or
ago,
anything.
or?
No, just like this last year.
Oh.
He's like, I'm out. Nintendo of America. He's
Oh.
president of Nintendo of America.
Interesting. All right, whatever. What were we talking about?
I was just talking about Bernie.
Yes. Okay. So one point I did want to make real quick is that we have a real issue with healthcare in this country. I don't know the right answer for it. I'm glad people are asking these kind of questions, though, and proposing solutions. I think that this corona stuff, as weird as it may be, it will only help Bernie Sanders in his message.
Oh, for healthcare? Yeah.
Because we have people that are already saying, like, well, I don't want to go get tested for it because they're going to foot the bill and charge me to be quarantined.
Yeah.
So when you have a pandemic like this, it's probably not the greatest look for our system. But I don't know. I think no matter what happens, I said this a year ago, and I stand by it. It doesn't matter. I think Trump is getting his another 4 years. Like, I don't think it. The economy's, well,
Him and his tweets. Another
stock
4
market
years.
is down historically low today, like minus 2,000 points, which is insane.
I don't keep track of that.
But
I have one stock. Right, not just one stock, but
Yeah.
I have a share of one. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. But yeah, no, I don't watch.
I think that the Democrats have a historically difficult uphill battle to fight once the primary is decided, and that is totally ignoring the fact that only one of these people is going to win, and that platform is totally different from the other person's platform. So there's going to be a lot of disenfranchised and upset people that felt like the election was snubbed from them. I feel like they will give it to Biden because I think that was the backup after Kamala got obliterated. So
It's
I don't
gonna
know.
be ugly. It's gonna be.
It will be
a
ugly
bloodbath
for sure. I think it's going to be a really crazy time.
Trump monster.
And Trump is just like kind of
Release
like
him. I was gonna
rubbing
say,
his hands together. It's like, all right, put me in. Put me in.
That's why I sent you that tweet. Did you see that? Well, I said his tweets have been hilarious recently.
Yeah,
that. I don't know if it's him or if it's his team.
That guy needs a raise, whoever's
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah,
It was the
it was-
one with the Spaceballs.
Yeah.
With him swinging the lights. Yeah.
Mighty Mike.
It was pretty good.
I'm like, Jesus. Because the other one had like he had a good, the original, like Mike Bloomberg had a really good, like, I guess, shit post as well. And
Yeah. It was
he
Luke
came back
talking
with just
to
even
Darth
better.
Vader.
He
Yeah.
played his game and won.
Yeah, he kind of really revolutionized the whole political game, I think, or his fan base did, or whatever.
The fact that he's not even POTUS kind of still bothers me. He said, no, I'm just going to keep my handle because he would, like, lose followers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still president, or I'm still Donald J. Trump.
Well, that's the wild thing is that, one of the reasons behind Bernie's going to run that word in the ground, but Bernie's defeat on Super Tuesday is that people way overestimated how influential Twitter is in general. Like a lot of the people like posting Bernie memes and, voting for him and arguing about him on Twitter didn't show up to vote for him.
Oh.
And
I did see a tweet about someone said, like, our generation's the loudest, but when it comes to doing something, that we just kind of sit on the fence.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, we'll let our voice be heard for sure for on the keyboards, but heaven forbid if it takes 20 minutes to go out to our local church to vote.
It'll be interesting.
10
man.
minutes of our time.
I don't know. I am glad that more and more people are kind of waking up to how unfair the Democratic National Convention is in general, how kind of wishy-washy it is, like between making rules to exclude the last woman of color in the whole race from a debate and making rules like a month or two ago to let in a billionaire who had no fucking support outside of his massive amounts of money that he gave. I think it's only doing good things for the progress of this country. I think it will be probably a rocky road. It'll be really interesting to see what happens, I think, in the next few months.
It's funny you said rocky road. Have you seen Lock and Key on Netflix? You should watch it. I just finished it this weekend. It's a new original series. One of those like 50-minute long episode type things, 10 episodes.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's a commitment.
But it's pretty exciting. The girl's nickname for a couple episodes is Rocky Road.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Got that ice cream, I guess. Had a shitty life as well. But it's really good. You should check it out.
Okay.
It's like a type of
Lock and Key.
Narnia meets Lemony Snicket's meets an original IP. And It's pretty good. It's an adaptation from a book. But yeah. If there was a celebrity running on the Democratic side, who could you see winning? I have one in mind. That's why I asked. I feel like this person would win the election this year. Just off of pure star power.
See, that's what I hate, is that we are inevitably, Donald Trump opened the way for this, is that this is going to be the way forward, is that who is the most electable celebrity going, because I'm going to say Oprah, probably.
Oprah?
Yeah, I think she would win.
You don't think she'd win?
Yeah.
She could win, yeah, I could see that. She's been out of it for so long, though. It's kind of tough. Younger people might not know who she is.
Dude, I don't think there's anyone.
I don't know, man. Like, she was kind of on her way out when we were growing up.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like new voters, like the ones that like are actually excited to go vote.
Well, they don't show up and vote. That's the thing. Who gives a fuck about them? Let them tweet all they want. They don't do shit.
I saw there's one that I think would win, and one we got to talk about because it was actually a talk on another show. One, I think Will Smith could win. I think he's got the charismatic power, charisma to just run straight to the goal and just not even look back. Because everything he says, people hold on to like as if Jesus is here speaking. But the one this was on SportsCenter and it was on First Take as well as Undisputed. People were saying LeBron James could get.
No way. No way.
I was getting swayed a little bit. I think that he could.
I'd have to watch that. Like that. I think it's one thing for a celebrity who has had some experience in, let's say, reality TV that is like building up an empire, quote unquote.
No. James he made a school. He gives back to the community in both sides of the coast, both coasts.
Yeah.
He's from Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, and didn't have anything from a single parent family home. He has his own family now, and he obviously is living normal life stuff. Like, apparently he's very stingy with his money, too, so he's not like an extravagant. He'll spend his money so the government doesn't take his shit or take his money, so he has to spend it on something. But obviously he knows what it's like to be the Democratic. Like, he would be perfect for the Democratic side because he knows what it's like to be those people. He is a person of color. He has influence. People know who he is. He's arguably one of the most recognizable names and faces in the world today. And the only thing that people would have, and he speaks out on real political issues. Every single time there's something that happens in the country, he says something about it, which means he's pretty informed. Now, I don't agree. I'm not saying you can speak on it, but I'm saying I don't agree like every single time like he knows the full story.
Yeah.
He'll just go with his gut and be like, all right, this is probably what happened based off my experience in Cleveland. Like the guy, like for example, the police brutality type shit, can't breathe, all that stuff. He's like, it's probably, I mean, it's on video. I mean, I'm not an idiot type thing. Sure, he's not going to be versed in the ins and outs of politics, but he's got all the money and time and resources to learn.
Yeah.
So don't think he wouldn't come prepared for a year-long campaign with people who could also just tell him things to say. Things like people underestimate election teams too.
Yeah.
But I think he could get it done. They had good points on there. It's an interesting argument. It's never going to happen. But people have asked him plenty of times, like, hey, you plan on running for president? He's just like, next question. But I don't know, man. What do you think about LeBron James, President King James?
Well, I mean, if you asked me in 2014 if Donald Trump would be the president, I would have called you crazy. So I don't know, man. Stranger things have happened. So I don't know.
I don't know. Have they though? But there's been basketball NBA players, ex-NBA players, who have gone on to government. They've been mayors. They've been governors.
He would have to get some experience, I think.
Yeah,
Well,
he's not
again,
the first
but
person to
Donald
do this
Trump
stuff.
didn't have any experience. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no idea, man.
He obliterated all the stipulations.
I don't know.
He even what you call it? Trump University. He's not even that successful of a investor, to be honest.
Well,
I think he didn't inherit his father's company, just not sink it. Pretty
maybe.
sure.
I don't
Pretty
know.
sure.
I haven't looked into him too much.
It's like I'm gonna say it's like, oh, I'm so good at this because I didn't fuck it up. Everything else I start from the ground up always goes under or I go bankrupt. Everything he starts, the XFL, the original one, dud. Trump University, dud. The only thing that's lasting is Trump Hotels, and guess why? Because the real estate platform was already there before it. His dad.
Yeah, I mean, I really haven't looked into that kind of stuff so much, so I can't
Smoke
say
and
one
mirrors.
way or the other. There's a good possibility. I think a lot of politicians are full of shit, which is why I fully expect Elizabeth Warren to endorse Biden. I think she is.
After all that shit.
Well, I don't know. I wanted to hit a bunch of different points today, and I just remembered that one. But
Must have been in the back of the head there.
I guess I had a checklist at some point, but I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. It'll be an interesting few months for sure.
That reminds me, in that Lock and Key show, they got this key. These keys do magical things in the house, and one was like a head key, so like you could go, literally unlock on the back of your neck, and you'll be standing there, and then another you will be behind you, so you can like look at you, and we could go. There's a door that appears, based off of your experiences, and you can go inside your head and like look back at memories, look at how you think of things. You can throw in knowledge, you can take knowledge out.
You should play Nier.
Like
Automata.
spoilers, one person threw away her fear, so now she doesn't fear anything anymore.
Mhm.
Big consequences, whatever you do. But and another, of course, the dude was smart, and he's like, I want to learn more about this. Just threw an entire book in his head, and now he knows everything about the town.
That's smart. I'll have to look it up. Lock and Key.
That's good stuff.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode. I'd like to see what happens next, man. I'm excited. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty. We've got the two main candidates left. Biden and Bernie. Who wins?
Alex and Luke,
Alex.
2032.
Yes. There's no way. I've got too much baggage, man. All the stuff I've said on this podcast, like, no way.
10 years later.
That is just, that is just asking to be isolated and be taken out of context.
Oh, yeah, you said too much.
I've said too much. All right.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Tune in next time.
You can write us in at contact@thedigitalfireside.com. Find me at Alexander D. Hall on Twitter.
Huge D.
Huge D.
Huge D.
Huge D, man.
Huge. Huge.
The hugest.
The hugest.
The greatest.
I'm going to find that Corona guy, and I'm going to hit him so hard that he won't know that Joe Biden can't remember anything.
Yeah! MAGA!
He'll get hit so hard that Joe Biden remembers.
We'll workshop it.
We'll remember it.
All right. See you guys.